Hey, it's 821 here, Big 550 KTRS. We're broadcasting from the First Rule and Film Broadcast Studios, the University Tower, all powered by our friends at Taliesin Technologies. And joining us now via Skype through the magic of technology, Dr. Jeffrey Lowe, Professor of Surgery and Pediatrics at Washington University School of Medicine. Good morning, Dr. Jeffrey Lowe.
Hey, McGraw. Hey, Aaron.
Good morning, Doctor.
Where were you these last few weeks you couldn't be joining us?
I spent most of them in Okinawa, Japan.
Oh,
wow.
We have, we being U.S. Navy, has a pretty big footprint there, a lot of ships, so I spent a few weeks there.
Did you get a chance to do a little sightseeing, or were you working the whole time?
I got to go scuba diving one weekend, which was fun.
That's
a little
nice.
Sightseeing.
All right, good. Doctor, you passed along a story to me in which people will be shocked, but they shouldn't be, and that is more people are now dying in the U.S. of accidental overdoses with drugs than in car accidents.
Crazy, isn't it? So drug overdoses have doubled over the last 14 years. More people die from accidental drug overdoses than car accidents. Crazy.
did you
So
know?
half of these are related to prescription drugs, with most of those coming from prescription painkillers, and then another good chunk are coming from medicines to treat anxiety and sleep disturbances. It's really remarkable. It's sad. It's preventable.
Well, what's shocking about the whole thing is on the news they will cover accidents and deaths and all that stuff. But when somebody overdoses, you don't hear about it. So people don't think it's actually happening, but it's happening at a higher rate. Prescription drugs, heroin, all of those things. It's an epidemic. Is it safe to say?
I think you probably could use that term. And one thing that here in Missouri that we could probably do more about is Missouri is the only state in the country that does not have some form of prescription drug monitoring. And this is proven to be very helpful for patients who doctor shop and for doctors who misprescribe. So this is an opportunity for us to kind of keep better tabs of who's doing what to and when and how.
Did you know in St. Louis County, just about 2 weeks ago, there were 4 overdoses in 1 hour in the ER? 1 hour.
Did you hear that, doctor?
Yeah. Coming a little broken, but yeah. I mean, it's an enormously big problem. I guess this is offset a little bit by the number of road accidents over the last couple decades is down because we're doing better at wearing seat belts and having cars that are safer and engines that don't end up in people's laps when there's a head-on collision and T-boating and stuff like that. So it's sort of a combination of both these terrible prescription drug overdoses are going up and road traffic deaths are going down.
Yeah, really interesting. What's going on with this MERS outbreak? How worried should we be about that?
I think it's another thing to just track. It's pretty far away right now. South Korea has the largest number of patients affected, and because they didn't handle it particularly well in the beginning, there are a lot of people now that are under quarantine. Like 6,500 people in South Korea are being quarantined, including entire villages and some hospitals. It's another one of these respiratory viruses. It's important because it has such a high mortality, like 38% is the mortality rate. It's similar to SARS and other ones that have been kind of winding their way around the world, but it has a very high mortality associated with it. We saw a little bit of it when I was in North Africa because that's sort of where it started. So it's bad. I hope it doesn't come here, and we'll just keep track of it.
How contagious and how does one get MERS?
Well, originally they thought it was transmitted, and they may still think this, from camels, from either their camel spit or camel urine. So I think most of us are probably not likely to get it that way. But after those two ways of getting it. It can be a person-to-person transmission.
We do have
Sort of
camel
like a
rides here.
Does it have to be bodily fluids? Is it bodily fluids, or is it like?
Well, it's
So
from an
or
infected
something?
camel, right? Yeah, bodily fluids, so
Gotcha.
respiratory,
Okay.
so droplet kind of thing. So, for those of you who are big, camel kissers or like to drink camel urine, I would probably
Camel
avoid this from camels from the Middle East. I think the zoo camels are probably okay.
All right, Dr. Lowell, I suffer from migraines, so I really want to know about this new migraine drug that claims to stop the pain before it starts.
Yeah, well, this is really, this could be great for you then. So this is a brand new class of designer drug specifically targeted at people who have migraines. And there's lots of people like you, Aaron, that have
I know,
migraines.
I'm not alone in this, I know.
Like 36 million people in the United States have it, and some of them have, 4 million have chronic migraines. And as you know, these are not like headaches. These
No.
are like the world's worst headaches.
Debilitating,
Very debilitating. It can be associated with being nausea, and you have to kind of just go in bed and put the covers over your head. It's a terrible kind of thing, and the drugs we have are not particularly great at it right now. So there's this new class of drugs called CGRP, calcitonin gene-related peptides, and these have been tested, and four pharmaceutical companies are starting to produce them. So it must be the real deal. And these are targeted at a specific molecule that's associated with triggering migraines, and so hopefully it'll prevent them. Now, the downside is that these designer drugs usually come with designer price tags associated with them. We haven't seen what these things are going to cost, but for people who have them, whatever the amount of money is, I'm sure it'll be worth it.
Priceless, yeah.
Doctor, finally, while we still have you, the Disney movie Inside Out, what does that have to do with medicine these days?
Well, have you seen it yet? It's actually pretty fun. I mean,
I'm
it's
going tomorrow, and I can't imagine this being a kid-friendly film because it seems like such a deep topic.
it's not really kid-friendly. I mean, it has like cartoony kind of characters, but it really is a grown-up kid or an older kid type movie. It really talks about how neuroscience works and emotions, and it talks about how memories are made and lost, and how we deal with our four main emotions and how they come and go. It's really a good flick. I think it's really well done. I hope you enjoy it.
Ladies and gentlemen, not only is he a world-class transplant surgeon, but he's also a world-class movie critic as well. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Dr. Jeffrey Lowell via Skype from his bunker somewhere in St. Louis. Dr. Jeffrey Lowell, professor of surgery and pediatrics at Washington University. Doctor, have a good week. Good to have you back, and we'll talk to you next Wednesday.
All right, take care, McGraw. Bye, Aaron.
You got 8:30 here, Big 550 KTRS. Now, last